Hi, I'm Robin. I have a question for you. What's stealing your joy? Today we're going to target 4 components that steal joy from your everyday life. So sit tight, I've got some great tips for you. If you are experiencing a traumatic life event or a mental health issue, please seek professional help. I'm not a therapist. These are from my own experience in life's trenches. But isn't it great to learn and grow from someone else's events? It's just our daily life and we're growing together. Some of us are more joyous by nature. Scientists believe 50% is DNA, 40% is personal outlook, and 10% is your life circumstances. None of us can be up all the time, and we all take our turns going through a loss. But what's stealing your everyday joy? Number 1, saying yes too much will suck the joy right out of us. Do you have trouble saying no? Are you the first one to offer to go the extra mile? Do you want to be the hero? Why do we say yes to responsibilities that will stretch us in an unhealthy way? Well, it's various reasons. For me, I don't like to disappoint, and I wanted to be viewed as competent and dependable. But saying yes to one small thing turns into several small commitments, which takes us into overload. It took me many years to learn the beauty and value of saying no, and that I don't need an explanation to justify my decision. At first I felt awkward. Oh, you can't handle this one small thing? But guess what? It becomes more natural. And in time, you feel more confident and empowered saying no. So here's the magical phrase I eventually learned. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have an appointment today. Or, I'm sorry, I have a commitment. Again, no explanation needed to justify your decision. Sometimes my appointment was a date with my hubby or scheduled downtime. If you put an appointment in your phone calendar, it becomes a concrete appointment, just like all your other obligations. Number 2, setting unrealistic expectations surreptitiously steals our joy. When we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, we never feel caught up or accomplished. Then what do? We cram more into the schedule, we work harder, sleep less, become frustrated. We can be unrealistic about our abilities, our time, our relationships. If we pack the day full, it doesn't leave time for all the unwitting events which will inevitably come our way. I used to make a daily to-do list. I wanted to put that magic check mark in front and have it done. But if I didn't complete a job, the list would get longer, and that can be frustrating. But I also had another list that I posted on the refrigerator, and that was called my ongoing to-do list. This was projects that would take longer to complete. That way, I still felt a sense of accomplishment, but had a plan to tackle longer projects as time permitted. What about your friendships? Let go of toxic friendships that drain your joy. A great friendship provides empathy, insight, and a back and forth of ideas. You know that friend who says, I know what you mean, girlfriend, I got your back. I remember one time my sweet friend and I were privately commiserating about one of the worst Christmases each of us had ever had. We probably both had unrealistic expectations. I witnessed a heated discussion with 4-letter words being thrown about, and the matriarch of the family sitting wide-eyed and motionless. My jaw dropped open and my blood pressure rose. Everyone quietly gathered their belongings and exited after that exchange. Her storybook Christmas involved her 2 sons fighting atop the dining room table as it rolled across the floor. We still giggle about these memories, and I'm so grateful for this joyous friendship. Number 3, Hurrying is a master manipulator at stealing our joy. Some days it's just inevitable when we are rushing, because there is just too much in our day. We begin throwing around comments and actions we often wish we could take back, usually to the ones we love most. Again, if each day was filled to capacity and I was rushing around, that left no time for the serendipities that would come my way, and those were often the best part of the day. This quote was attributed to Dwight D. Eisenhower, the US president. I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent. In other words, getting to an appointment on time or completing a work project may seem urgent, but in the grand scheme of life, it isn't. In contrast, visiting your aging grandma or spending quality time with your child isn't urgent. It doesn't require us to do it this moment, but in the larger picture of life, we will see they were important. So the goal is to recognize and weigh out our priorities and shave off the burdensome activities that you can. Number 4, worrying. Ugh. This is one of the heavy hitters. Fear and anxiety are his cousins. I have had all of these as unwanted roommates at various stages in my life. Worry will fill your mind and swirl around every scenario and what if. When worry is playing in the background, it saps our joy. For some of us, relaxing our mind takes tremendous work. And yet studies show most of what we fear never even happens. I began to notice after a particularly stressful event, my legs would ache, my arms hurt, and I realized I was holding myself rigid and unrelaxed. So I incorporated 2 different breathing techniques which have helped me immensely. In one breathing exercise, you simply breathe deeply through your nose and then exhale through your mouth with pursed lips, like you're whistling. Do that several times. Deep breathing signals your brain to calm and relax. Another technique is to close your eyes and relax your whole body, beginning at your toes and moving up limb by limb, being sure to relax each part of your body. These may sound silly, but both of these have helped me and many other people tremendously. I love the scripture that says, "Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life?" And of course we know the answer. We cannot. Our worry will only steal joy and peace. Research shows we get happier and less anxious as we age. I think it's because we realize everything is not nearly as immediate or important as we once thought. I wish I could go back and tell my young self the same as I'd tell you. Be kinder and more gentle to yourself. You have a lot of responsibilities, and life is hard sometimes. Take a little time to calm your soul, rest your mind, and know how valuable you are. And don't let anyone or anything steal your joy. You're doing a great job. I'll see you again soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe.